Hello, hello. Episode 3 of the Domestic Vibrance podcast with Ruben,
Hey, Rachel.
sexy sick voice.
I don't even know where to start with it. This week, it was a lot with the kids.
He thinks he's in a relationship.
He thinks he's in love.
Yeah. He's a lover boy, though. He's looking for it.
So I always have to check his phone.
And you saw him love bombing.
I saw him love bombing. He's a fucking narc, man.
Why do you call him a narc? I never got that. Why is he a narc?
It's the short term I use for narcissist.
This whole time I thought you were calling him a freaking narcos or something. I was like, what? He's not a narc? No, he's not.
So he's freaking love bombing these girls.
Or this girl.
He tried to tell her that he's the yin to his yang.
And he took it because I engraved that on your engagement ring. And he
And he used it.
He used it. So pretty much either used Chat GPT to write that, or he copied and pasted stuff from like Google or something. That is not him. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, he was love bombing for sure. That's gonna be a problem. So he's like getting into the preteen little kid anymore, but he's like 1 foot into like maturing, but still 1 foot into like being a little kid.
Yeah.
And it's like hard because we see him being a little kid. It's like we compare him to when he wants like his own privacy and like, you know what I mean, to be like kind of like left alone. And so like when he gets caught in stuff and, he just like, he tries to cover it up and like, he gets embarrassed. It's a funny reminder. Huh? He thought we were going to get mad about certain stuff. Like the fact that he's like a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
It's more like you laugh at it.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny. It's real misguided. Like he doesn't know, but he knows.
Like, sorry I didn't talk to you today. I was just being awkward.
Is that what you're reading? Are these like quotes?
Yeah.
Oh shit. It's like when you show me, you have to show me because I'm like, I don't want to read that shit.
He never wants to read it, but I do.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, they're getting older. Like just talking to them, that shit don't get through. If anything, they make sure to do the opposite, it feels like. But what's crazy is they're fucking watching you.
Yeah.
They watch everything we do. Down to like, he reverted back to his like, oh, that's just what I saw. Like the fact that that's on your engagement ring. So
Yeah.
he just goes back to his like, I think that's what that is. Then yeah, I'm going to put that. You're the yin to my, like this dude's trying to get married and shit.
When you asked him what dating is and he tried to compare it to our relationship.
It's like, no, dude.
There's no explaining to 11-year-old though.
When the student's ready, the master appears.
That also works for when you're late for work.
Don't arrive late nor early. I arrive exactly when I'm needed.
Yeah. Levi got banned from TikTok, but won't tell us why.
No, he didn't. Right?
Yeah, he won't.
But doesn't it say on there?
It says like if you violated guidelines, it won't tell you the specific reason.
Because I am. I'm in TikTok jail right now. I'm in TikTok jail because somebody was messaging me and I just messaged them back. But the thing is I didn't really do anything. It's weird. Somebody pretending to be somebody else and then like it was just a weird interaction. I was warned about this person and then they just showed up and started writing me crazy long scrolls. Like they knew me. You're a wise man. I was like, you don't fucking know me. You don't know me. You know what it took for me to become this wise? Heartache and failure.
They came in hot trying to like.
I think that's what got me banned.
Be a Yoda.
Yeah, it was crazy. Don't you know what you're getting into? Jesus, man. Not yet. Tell me what's going on. It was a crazy person. And then I blocked them, and then it turns out I got fucking banned.
Gotcha.
Yeah, shit. Now I can't share shit. Get the fuck out of here. That was bullshit, dude.
It's funny. It was a Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
So maybe he didn't. I don't know.
What do you mean? Like he didn't do anything wrong?
Like crazy. He might have just responded to something, or
I never know. I never know with that kid. So I just assume like it was the craziest thing possible. Like to me, this dude just fucking went live and like freaking exposed himself or something. I don't know, or said shit he shouldn't have said. That's what I assume. And if I can still live with him in the house, assuming that, We're good.
So on that account, he had it under I'm that guy.
I'm that guy. And then what was the new account? You're not him, buddy. That's what it was.
You're not him, buddy.
Yeah. He just told him so. Like he was trying to hide in plain sight.
Yeah,
Dude, we just exposed them. Go, take them off.
What?
TikTok.
Oh.
Go fucking go light them up. Get them off there. We've been trying to get them off anyways. He just keeps creating accounts and shit.
Just go report him.
Yeah. Get him off my trail. Not him, buddy. Keep looking. Keep it moving. This ain't him. You had an interesting interaction with I forgot. I don't know what to call him. I'll call him Dragon. Anyways, you had an interesting conversation with him today. You recorded it without telling him. We're over here just violating the shit out of these kids. We're over here reading their text messages. We're like reading their messages. Well, you are. I'm throwing you under the bus. We're reading their messages, and then like you're recording them without his knowledge and shit.
Because then he won't talk. Oh well, he will. He wants to go on the podcast.
Does he?
Yeah.
That'll be wild.
That'd be very wild.
So you had an interesting conversation with Dragon today. I seriously wish we can like play that. We can't. We're not gonna do that. But
why?
I don't know.
You made it seem like we're fucking violent.
I don't know. It feels weird. I feel like we're fucking doing something right now. This feels like fucking. I don't know. Like we're coloring outside the lines right here. We're breaking.
I think he's like a starseed.
Yeah, because he just gets it. Nothing else though. Like it's really.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's video games or something like that. Some things he just fucking nails it. I'm talking like nails it to the point of like I listen to like a lot of conscious podcasts and stuff like that, and you'll get these doctors on there that are they give these interesting philosophies and concepts on life and what it actually means and what this like what we're doing here, you know what I mean, and really who we actually are to like know yourself. And he said something, and he usually does, but he said something that came to a certain realization about like where our on button is, right? Okay, so like I have these ideas like if you cut us open, there's no on switch, right? Like we have actual matter, blood flowing through our veins, bones, tendons, all this stuff. But when we die, there's no like you can't physically see like an on button. It's not like Iron Man where he has that whatever the hell it was, like vibranium or whatever it was inside of him. That kept him going, that kept him on. Like where's that in us? And I came to some realization of like what I believe that is, right? After asking that question. I've been asking myself that question for so long. You talked to him today and you were just kind of like, so he has ADHD, right? Whatever, which is to me, that's a fucking superpower. I got it too. It's a fucking superpower. It's not, I don't believe it's a disability, but anyways, he thinks in a certain rhythm in a certain way. So when he just goes one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And when he's speaking it out loud, it sounds like slow down.
Mm-hmm.
But then you proceeded to you asked him questions, bam, back and forth, and he was just firing answers off. And what was he saying? What was the questions that you were asking him, and what was his answer?
Okay, he wants to play this game of who can ask the most questions.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like he asks questions fast, and then rarely even waits for the answer, then moves on to another.
Yeah.
Question.
So I just hit him back to back with a bunch of questions, like, "Got friends?" And he was just like, "What?" And it threw him off because he's just like, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, a lot of them are online, so probably not. Does your family love you?
Oh, do your family, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah. Do your friends love you?
Yeah.
Probably not. I think they just care about me, but they don't love me.
Yeah.
Who's God? That God is the speed of light in the universe because he created everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then why do they call God male? Why is it always he or a she? He was just like, because God could turn into either or. God can be a he, God can be a she, God can be everything because he's everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he can transform into whatever he wants. And I was just like, all right.
Oh yeah. Well, then you asked something about the plants, like trees.
Well, God's everything. If you just do that, you're breaking a piece of God. If God's everything,
So if I go cut the tree down, what happens?
you basically hurt. What's it called? You hurt a little bit of life from that God made with God's energy of making the trees.
So where is God?
He is everything.
Are you God?
Oh, what kind of?
You said God is everything.
Well, I guess your texture and your skin is God. And everything is God. You have a piece of God in you. So yeah.
Let's go, baby. He fucking nailed it. We've rarely, if at all, like had those conversations with him, or at least had them like with him around.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like as you and I have discovered new things of like and new things about us and our relationship with God, source, whatever this universe is, and this experience is, he's been like right alongside of it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So that Sunday before, because I've always said, right, like where's our on button, right? And it's really just a question I ask aloud, and it's a question that I mean I would like to know. Anyways, I was saying how like if God is within us, right, then like where's our on button? And it came to me that God's our on button. Random interaction with him, and then you just start hitting him with shit, and that's his answer. That was so cool.
Yeah.
It's like kids are so like they're so close to that realm, so much closer than what we are. I'm 40 years removed from that, right? Whatever that spiritual realm, whatever brought us in here,
We're much older and farther away from it. And then you throw in society and religion.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's so close. He's 9 years removed from it. So he's still operating in that realm, which is so cool, which is why they say, hey, kids see ghosts. You know what I mean? They're more highly attuned to that. Where we go on this journey that takes us away from that and finding out ourselves, like our likes and dislikes, you know what I mean? And we define ourselves by that. And then we eventually grow to look for something a little bit deeper than that. And as we mature, we go and find our way back to where the kids are. And I just thought that was so fucking cool. Kids are smart, man.
Yeah.
He has certain ways about him, but I think they keep him like highly attuned. And you forget, and you're just like, oh, you think he's in his own world, which he is, but he has some views on shit. I love that you encourage that with him, like in that moment, and that's cool. And that's his understanding of that right now. He will continue to find out what that actually means to him.
Whatever he feels and believes, I think that's cool. Because for him to understand that he's everything is awesome.
Used to see like spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you remember seeing them when you were like real little.
Well, I still see them.
I know.
Yeah.
But like from the time that you were like little though.
Yeah, I was small. I was like 6.
But then you also had somebody, like you had your dad who would like talk to you about that and like not encourage it, but like help you like maneuver through it. That's scary for a little kid.
Yeah, because it ran in that side of our family.
Yeah.
So it was normal.
Because Bear sees them too.
Yeah.
She explains like in detail, and she's scared.
So my dad's passed away. The bear already knew who he was without me explaining to her.
Yeah.
And she was 2 at the time when I had his picture on one of my nightstands, and she told me that was her grandpa. She just knew.
And then not only that, like my best friend who passed away, she's never met him ever, obviously. What did she say?
What happened was this guy. I don't know what you were doing. You were moving something, and there was a cord wrapped around it of his original ashes. It came into like a little bottle like that with this picture on it, and you ended up dropping it and breaking it. I kept that jar because it had his picture. So what I wanted to do was whatever we switched it to, put his picture on that new jar. So that jar was on top of where we have the coffee.
Or coffee bar or whatever.
Yeah, the coffee bar. when I went to go get coffee one morning, Bear, of course, following me around, was behind me and was telling me like that guy plays with me. He plays Barbies. And I'm like, what guy? And she's like, that guy. And I'm just like, who the hell is she talking about? And like, I'm looking and then I look up and I was like, oh shit, because it's upside down. Grab it and I'm like, this guy? And she's like, yeah, that guy. He's really nice. He plays Barbies with me. And then I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, that's Jay. And she was just like, oh.
I've had little experiences with like that, like spirit stuff. I just look at, so for mine, it was, I have had, I think 2, 3 that I remember. I'll say 2 because 2 I definitely remember. One is when I was like really young at my grandparents' house. And I just remember sitting down and like in the living room area and on like this single like armchair, like lazy boy. And then I just flat out saw like 2 like, or it felt like 2 like black shadows just like behind me, and it get like kind of cold. I remember that, and I remember like I understood that wasn't good. Like I knew, I freaked out and I like couldn't move. So that, and that's really was all that became of that. And then about 2 years ago, I was walking outside, going to my car, and I just vividly heard my name being spoken like in a woman's voice in this ear on this side. And it felt like it wasn't like something right here. It felt like it was calling from somewhere like far, but like a bigger presence. I don't know. It was, that's the best way I can describe it. And it just said my name. It just Ruben, like that. And I was just like, I didn't even, I just turned around and went back inside because I was like, whatever that was, I don't know if that was a warning or what, but I'm not going to be on the road right now. I just went back in. So I don't know a lot of that stuff, but it's wild when a kid comes to you and tells you things that you probably wouldn't normally hear.
This last time because I don't know what, I don't know if she was playing with my dad or what happened, but she came in scared.
Oh yeah, she said he was like really scared her.
Yeah, he scared her on accident.
Like really bad. I've never seen it. Like she was visibly like frightened, shaking, like turned white.
Yeah.
It was, I felt, I was holding her and she was just stiff.
Yeah, she was so scared. And I was like, what a dick.
Yeah, I know. And then she came back and said what he said, and she was cool.
Yeah, she said, Grandpa Mark came and he said, sorry for scaring me.
Yeah.
I don't think he meant to do that on purpose.
No.
That's why I was like, he probably feels terrible. And if he did do that on purpose, what a dick.
Yeah, what a dick.
But
But
then
she said that he said sorry.
Yeah.
And then she was fine and went back in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about all this. This shit's crazy.
Yeah.
I got all you guys telling me there's like spirits all around us. I still can't get used to it.
Other I guess dimensions, right? Or frequencies that these spirits are on.
Yeah, it's got to be a different, like, I don't know, dimension. I don't even know what a dimension is, but yeah, it's got to be one of those because ain't this one.
Yeah. So the more you learn about it, it's just kind of like there's way more to it than I think a lot of people know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to get too crazy into religion. I just it just wasn't for me like a specific one, you know. I don't know. Religion's crazy. I feel like everyone's just kind of telling like the same, like they're all saying the same thing. They're all telling the same story. They just have different words. Like
yeah,
different interpretations and then different words for things, different meanings. But I think they're all just kind of saying the same thing. Moving on. No, but it's interesting watching them grow. It's starting to have this different idea of like why kids come into our lives, right? So whether that's like we have our own kids, you know, or it's you know, step kids, or if you're a coach or a mentor or something like that, right? So just from like my experience, and I would love for this to be like all true for everybody, you know what I mean? Because it'd be great to like have that type of like profound discovery for myself. But for me, it's like they're just a little version of you. And what that actually means is there's something within them that you're going to learn from them. They're going to teach you so fucking much about you, and they're usually, those types of close relationships are usually the best teachers, and they usually propel you if you really lean into it and go into it with that attitude rather than maybe an attitude of, I know everything, I'm older, I'm wiser. You know what I mean? I have experienced this before and all that. If you go in with that attitude, then it's just going to be a basic, like, transactional, surface level type of relationship. I'm speaking directly to stepkids right now, right? Like if you're a stepdad and with stepkids. So like for me, um, it's like it's either going to be, in that sense, it's going to be very transactional and like role playing. Like, I'm here for this role and this is your role until you grow up and get your own role. You know what I mean? A different role, or excuse me, a different role. So um at the end of the day, like, for instance, you have three from a different relationship, I have three from previous relationship. So just overall, even though they're not biological, each one of them represents something like within me, and I've come to like discover at least one thing.
Mm.
And I'm healing something within myself through all three relationships. And it sounds like, okay, like, let's get real for a second, but honestly, like, that's just what I'm seeing. It's just like with my biological kids, it's like there's things within them, each of, like, there's things within them that are going to be for me to learn from and for me to heal myself from, or like the kid within me. And then there's, and I feel like they're all different me's at different stages in my life, like at their ages right now. So those ages are 18, 15, and 12. Okay. So I feel like, like, they're each 12-year-old me, 15-year-old me, and 18-year-old me right now. And that's what I feel like with the stepkids too. And I don't know if that's something that's true and for everybody, but I'm just saying it out loud, and that's kind of what I'm experiencing right now.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. Look at it for you.
For me,
Like, if you see, well, here, I'll like clarify it. Like, look at it for you to see, just like as an exercise. Look at it for you to see if you see the, what is it, 11-year-old, 9-year-old, and 4-year-old you in the kids.
11-year-old, not so much.
No?
No, I see some in the 9 and
Like at that age?
yeah, like the 9 and the 4-year-old.
But not moving on. Or that's what I'm experiencing right now. It's crazy because it's not like I didn't know the kids before you or anything. I've gone through that journey with Levi.
Oh, Levi.
Me and Levi. With Dragon too, it's been that, like, to where, like, I've always had an understanding of him because I was like, I see you, bro.
Yeah.
I know you because I was you, dude. And then Bear just is the unconditional love. That's what Bear represents. She teaches me kind of like to soften up and relax. It's all good. She vibes high, man. She gives the best hugs. It's crazy. It's crazy how good her hugs are. I just feel like all those relationships they show you, so especially with kids, for me especially, really connects with me. And it's crazy. It's like, it's not like it's all like good. So okay, just because of that realization does not mean whatsoever that, like, oh, I'm going into it with that open mind and I'm just see it all for what it is, and I'm just I'm just grateful for the experience of having. It's none of that bullshit. Like, I'm in it. And it could be like I'm beefing and I'm just like, why are we in this thing? Like, you know what I mean? Constant, it's over and over. And then it's just like, you're teaching me patience. You're teaching me to give compassion. You're teaching me to be able to be like, hey, it's all right. You don't got to do that. Like, whatever, like, to talk to it a different way, to the situation a different way, right? and it's what I would have wanted for myself. And like, if you can go down that whole thing, but like, that's what that shows me.
Yeah, I'll take you down a little rabbit hole.
No. Moving on. That's been prevalent for me too. It's because my oldest has moved back down here. He's in fashion school and he's doing like these internships, and that's been cool to relate with him. Like on a different type of level now that he's, 18 and kind of starting his new like life. I do more listening now with him. I just kind of want to know what he thinks about like the world,
Yeah.
because it's not about me telling him, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you're already 18, dog. Like, let's see. It's crazy is that like the shit he says is along the lines of kind of how I think. Moving on.
So let's talk about how your fucking brain is like a newborn baby.
What?
Ever realize that?
You brought me here for this? Y'all in on this?
Did you ever realize that about
No.
your brain?
I mean, okay.
It's like, when from a certain age, I believe it's like till you're 5 or something like that, and your brain is like a sponge,
Mhm.
and everything you get taught that time, you just suck it all in.
Mhm.
Yeah, yours is like you didn't get that time frame. Yours just keeps going.
What do you? Oh, like I'm still sucking shit in?
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. Dude, why does he know so many facts
Got a touch of that tism, baby.
about
I got random facts. Constant random facts. Just shit you don't even need to know.
Yeah.
You know those people that got those junkyards and it's not even a real junkyard, it's just their yard, their big old yard that they just turned into a bunch of parts and shit like that? That's my mind with useless facts.
I'm like, oh, I want to go eat at the spot. And he's like, it was built in 19.
Shut up. Hey, I don't be doing that. That's a quick Google search. Don't get fooled by that.
1972.
Funny thing about 72 was that's the year of the Barracuda. Like,
I realized that.
yeah.
Because I'm like, why do I tune out?
It definitely takes up too much bandwidth and time in my life. See? Got a thumbs up. Stretching out the bandwidth, baby.
It's crazy.
Upgraded.
Newborn baby brain.
Newborn baby brain. Malleable, soft. At least I'm not hard headed. You're hard headed.
Yes, I am.
You are stubborn.
I don't know no facts.
Nope. Nothing's getting through here. Things like a steel trap. Nothing's getting in or
All right. Not that bad. It's pretty bad.
You don't remember shit about fuck.
I'm just
I
living.
remember everything. That's why we work, Mama Lou.
Yeah.
It works. Look I'm not saying I'm on the spectrum or I'm autistic, but loud noises and bright lights do seem to have like some sort of a reaction in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I get some loud noises or some banging and shit going on, and I don't fucking, it's too high frequency for me. I don't like it. Bright light out here, just fucking raw dogging it with the tism.
I already knew that. I'm the one that told you that.
You did. You've been trying to convince me since we got together.
I want him to get a diagnosis already.
Moving on. Call baseball America's favorite pastime. Is they say like past time, or it's what America likes to do to pass the time?
I didn't even know that was the thing.
You never heard of
Oh.
something called pastime?
No.
Really?
Yes.
You see what I'm dealing with? I can't even like those
What?
references. I can't use references with you. They go right over your head.
Yeah, I have no
And
idea.
usually like when I do metaphors or like anything like that, it's like I'll say that they're boomerangs that they'll go over people's head and then they come back and bam, then it hits them.
It won't hit me.
It won't
It'll go right
at
back
all.
to
It'll go
you.
right back over again. I'll be like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Listen, I spit gold sometimes. Sometimes I hit you with some amazing references and just like hit you with like a metaphor, and you're just like. So, anyways, do you understand that I just listened to you, like talk about something that you couldn't just quite describe and get a hold of, and then I just give it back to you in this beautiful metaphor, and you just go. Anyways, think it's like I'm giving you gold. It's bullshit.
Simplicity is wisdom.
What fortune cookie did you read that bullshit off of? Sometimes. Simplicity is wisdom. Like a subtle, soft waterfall in the back, and like some like really nice, like calming music. As you say that again. Go right here.
Sometimes simplicity is wisdom.
Why'd you get an accent?
Sometimes.
No,
Do you like it?
no. All right, yeah, I kind of like it. Simplicity is the sign of a peaceful mind. Look at you. You are just fucking nailing it. Yeah,
Hey.
now that you're a philosopher, let's go ahead and let's lock this. We're going to take this podcast a new direction. Moving on. You always look pissed. You're just trying to figure it out.
Maybe.
I always tell you I want to show you a mirror
Yeah, I don't want to see that though.
so you can see what it looks like.
I feel like I would look like Esquete.
I don't even know what that is. Oh, Nacho Libre.
Yeah, there you go.
Esquete?
Yeah, where
That's what you remember?
you want to show me the mirror so I can see my face.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I would be like him, like when he's smiling, like
It's not a smile, though.
like to try to change it.
Is that the corn guy?
Yes.
It's not a smile. I can picture. He does always look big because I don't know which the fuck you were talking about right now. I don't know him by name like that.
Esquete.
I can't believe you remember that.
Me neither.
You don't remember shit.
I know.
That's what you choose to remember?
One of my files showed me a corn.
I love how your brain works. You just get a picture of a corn that pops up and you're like, let's get it. I'm so fucking proud of you right now. You've been killing it today, by the way. Just so you know, you've nailed it today outside today. And I was telling you how you just, what you were nailing it with like, each of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're on fucking fire today.
Yeah.
You just woke up from a nap and
He lost hope in me.
I didn't think you were down. You had a standing 8 count. I didn't think you were going to come back.
I was asleep, mouth open.
Yeah. It's a sight. It's a sight to see. Moving on.
You're going to be an example.
You got to show them.
You got to show them. And
hey, if you're yelling at them and going like, you need to learn how to control your or manage your fucking emotions, screaming at them, you know what I mean?
they're like, fuck, all right.
Yeah, but then they end up just doing what we do, which is just yelling and being defiant, right? And that's essentially what we're doing. That's a grown-up tantrum. When grown-ups yell, including me, I do it like way more than I want to, and I haven't been doing it at all.
Yeah.
But I used to feel like that was okay, right? Like you raise your voice to let it be known, but really it's just a grown man cry. That's it's just a tantrum. And yeah, it's confusing for a kid, right? It's just like, yeah, so I can be like you? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, so you don't be like me. It's all bullshit. Because when I was a kid, I hated the do as I say, not as I do. It's crazy because like we grow up with kids, you know?
I literally just told Levi that. I was telling him, hey, just so you know, I make mistakes too. I'm learning too. You're not alone. You don't know where they're at when they get in trouble at an 11-year-old. You don't know what their mental state is or what they're thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
Even if it's not that serious, like you just don't know what they're thinking.
You know how he reverted back to like what he saw, like when he was in a situation like, oh, I need to tell a girl how I feel about them. He goes back to like things that I've said or like, you know what I mean, things from our relationship. It's like when you're a new parent, you say like, I'm never going to be my parents, right? But then like the first thing that happened, like you go back to your training like, oh shit, I've never done this before. And now I'm like, and then you're either calling your parents for advice or you're just like doing what you saw them do. Like I got it figured out and like figure it out as like I'm going. And it's fucking crazy because we just essentially grow up with them.
I think it builds character.
Everything builds character. Moving on. Ooh, you look pretty. I got nothing. Moving on, right? And raising them and lowering them in other ways. And expectations were our way of trying to control the situation. And once we relinquish the control and stop trying to control like the situation, made things simpler, right? That simplicity allowed us to kind of just get out of the way and stop trying to figure it out and allow the change to happen. And it's just kind of like flowing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's cool because that's why we can speak to it now.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool is that we're both on board with it. And what's cool is that we can also apply that to multiple areas of our life.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with it.
Yeah.
For my own perspective with the kids, it felt like I mentioned before, just trying to micromanage and control the situation because I don't think I was looking at them as an 11. Okay, so I guess that's where I can relate to him. Is I don't think I was looking at him as an 11-year-old. I was looking at it future wise and being like, if I don't fix this and fix this fast, it's gonna turn out really bad. So I was trying to control the situation to make sure that didn't happen. And by doing that and not letting him just be an 11-year-old and be himself, it was creating the resistance and creating a more complicated parent-child relationship for no reason.
Yeah, so it's like so if I'm hearing you were like comparing every incident or with him, you're comparing it to what the worst case scenario could be when he, down the road.
Mhm.
So like everything was like the worst thing ever,
Mhm.
which made it worse for him because now he feels like, oh, why is there so much like pressure on him? Why is everything I do such a big deal? And it just like fuels the fire, and it just keeps that thing burning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's exactly exactly what was going on.
Mhm.
That's
That's that. And now Levi realized that he ain't that guy.
just understand like, okay, when I was that 11-year-old, your world's so small. And I'm sure it's different now, because with social media and like everything like that, but man, back then, like your world's so small, it only really consists of your basic need and then whatever your ego needs, right? If it's how I look and, what are people going to think about me? And it's like, it's just that immediate thing.
And that as it should be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then like sometimes we expect them like, no, man, you got to think, look at the big picture. It's like, dude, they can't see the big picture.
Mhm.
That's not where they're at yet. Moving on. Well, that's episode 3 of the Domestic Vibrance podcast. Hit like and subscribe, share it, and that's it. Good night.